Hey y'all, what the deal is? What the deal is? What's popping? What's popping on a Monday evening? Baby, they don't love us no more. Ain't nobody in here.
They'll be here.
Shout out to everybody that watched our video evening chat.
Yeah.
A lot of people watched that video.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, first person in the room.
Mm-hmm. Y'all might want to come up in here. We got a contest we ready to start.
Oh, I ain't know about the cut. Can I enter?
Well, what we giving away, you already got.
Oh, okay.
You can win a TheMcRaeKingz t-shirt, but you got to be in it to win it. That means you got to listen to every single live that we do from today on.
You gotta be
I'm
in it
so
to
mad and
win it.
disappointed
Why?
because this chili ain't got no damn meat in it.
No meat.
Mm-mm. All it got is beans.
Child.
But nevertheless, it's still good.
Yeah, they chili normally is. I used to get their little taco salad all the time.
You know what they make the chili out of, right?
What?
They make out of their leftover hamburgers. You know the hamburgers that come out all messed up and
Yeah.
stuff.
Hey, Erica. Come on up in the Lord's house. Ye shall come to love. Come on up in the Lord's house. Ye shall come to love. Come on up in the Lord's house. Ye shall come to love. Robo Shanda, Ibo Sha, he come to love. Oh, yes. Just for you. Hey, Reese Cop.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Lawrence.
I'm sitting here having me a little spot of dinner.
He don't know he gonna cook my little spot of dinner
Huh?
when this live finish.
What I'm cooking?
I just want a grilled cheese.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Hey, Angela. Yes. Erica, I sang it just for you when I saw you popped in. That's why you gotta let me know when you pop in. Hey, Angela. Y'all, we had a blast yesterday.
Ooh, I was watching YouTube today.
Mm-hmm.
You know me. I love reaching back into history and stuff like that. And I especially love going to, our era, when we grew up. Excuse me. And do you know it's been alleged that Marvin Gaye was a serial killer?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that on YouTube. You probably watched the same video I
Well, here's
saw.
the thing. They say that there were a series of teenage girls that were prostitutes and they were killed, you know, and the police had an idea of who it was. And the person of interest he was supposed to be this Motown, well, he's supposed to be this big recording artist at the time.
Right.
They never mentioned his name because he was never interviewed. He was never, nothing. But they say that whoever he was, he had big people behind him. He had big money behind him. This person was a platinum selling artist. And, they basically paid the police officers off for it to go away. And because these girls were like throwaways, they were like runaways, they were prostitutes and stuff like that. Nobody ever, questioned,
Right.
anything. And their death wasn't really important because they were prostitutes, you know, and they were runaways.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Never mind.
Now, it's said that the murder stopped. And then a decade later, there was another murder that happened. And again, this person, this platinum selling star, was a person of interest. And because he had all these people behind him and all this money behind him, they never questioned him, and he never, you know, it never saw the light of day or anything like that. Isn't that something? Marvin Gaye.
But did you see what he used to like to do to women?
Well, Marvin Gaye was a weirdo.
He
Um,
was right up there with the Playboy man.
hmm he was a weirdo. You know, his dad was a cross dresser.
He was too.
hmm
If you watch the same video I watched,
Marvin Gaye's father was a cross dresser. He dressed like a woman. He used to like to dress like a woman, although he was a pastor and everything. He was a Pentecostal pastor too. Mhm. Ain't that nothing, church burgers? Marvin Gaye's father, who was a Pentecostal, no, not Pentecostal, sanctified holiness Pentecostal
mm-hmm,
minister, used to dress in drag and used to dress in women's clothes. He was a
mm-hmm.
cross dresser. So that's what I was watching today.
I think we watched this. Ashley,
I watched it a little bit. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I
hers
gotta
is
go back
good
and
too.
watch it.
That's the who you was watching. Hers,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hers is good.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we had a great time
Shout
yesterday.
out to Ashley Says So. If y'all ain't watching Ashley Says So, if y'all want to know the hot tea, and y'all want to know, I'm sorry, Papa, I didn't mean to interrupt you. If y'all want to know about your stars of yesteryear and today, go over and watch Ashley Says So. She does such great work on telling stories about celebrities like the Supreme. She's done Diana Ross. She's done David Ruffin. She's done you name it. She does everybody. She's done Lou Rawls, even of all people. Um, but Ashley Says So. Shout out to Ashley Says So. Yeah, go over there and watch her. But anyway, go ahead, show Joseph. What were you saying?
For the third time, we had a great time yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did. We had a good time yesterday. Well, for those of you that don't know, um, it's Pride season. Pride season started June 1st, and what Pride season is it's the time of year. It's kind of like Black History Month for gay people,
But it's all summer.
but it's all summer, basically, because Pride season starts in June and it doesn't end until like October, the
But you'll
last
see
event.
just the media just celebrated all the whole month of June.
Yeah, yeah. This is the official Pride month. So you're going to see a lot of advertisements. You'll see a lot of different
Rainbows.
different things going on in wherever you live at when it comes to the LGBTQ. You'll see rainbows upon rainbows upon rainbows upon rainbows everywhere. You'll see rainbow
Hey,
flags.
Lisa.
You're gonna see people with their hair colored rainbow colors. You're gonna see rainbow everything everywhere. And you know, it's like I said, it's a good time of year. I just don't really care too much for the commercialization of Pride. I
Right.
think it's more than that. I think Pride is about more than just being gay. I think Pride is Pride Month should be celebrated by everyone, you know. But that's just the type of person I am. I'm a more sharing, caring person. A lot of people say, "No, this is our month. This is our month. This is what when we get to celebrate
Yeah, because straight
and
people
all this
have
stuff."
all year to
Um,
be straight.
yeah. So this is Pride Month, and we launched our Pride Month by going to our first Pride event, which was in Asbury Park. Now we weren't participants in the festivities, meaning we weren't on the roster or anything like that, but we just went to spectate and enjoy the festivities, which we
Hey,
really did.
Monica.
It was not. It was a beautiful day yesterday. We were down in Asbury Park, which is down by the shore, down by the Atlantic Ocean. It was beautiful outside. It was a beautiful day. There was no rain. It was kind of warm. It wasn't too hot.
It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was
Um,
perfect.
yeah, and I was very proud of Joseph because Joseph actually walked yesterday.
Oh, honey. When I tell
I
y'all
mean, it
he
wasn't
had me
without
walking,
complaint. It
honey,
wasn't without complaint. He didn't complain too much, y'all, but he
I
did
really
walk.
didn't complain until when we was on the grass because grass is not even. So grass is kind of hard to walk on and keep my balance. So walking on the grass was uh was a feat.
Yeah, and we got to raise some money,
And
Joseph.
Tramel just forgets that because I've actually got the cane. So if anybody who saw my Facebook post, I actually got the cane and left the damn cane home.
Yeah, he left the cane home.
So I had to hold on to Tramel. Now Tramel is running around trying to pass out our business cards that we showed you. And I'm like, do you not realize I'm holding on to you? Like I'm walking and he just goes to the left, goes to the right,
Hmm.
walks in between people, and I'm
Right.
like trying to keep up, and I'm like, okay, this is getting a little bit
And here's
monotonous
the
for
thing:
me.
I'm not trying to get you to keep up. All I'm saying to you, what I be saying to you is, Joseph, if you want to sit down and rest, you go sit down and rest because I can walk. You go sit down
But
and
there was
rest,
nowhere
and
to
I'm
sit
more than
down.
happy to pass out the cards because it
Hey,
takes
Erica.
a lot of walking and a lot of leg work to pass out stuff. So I was out passing out, our little cards with our name on them that say McCraeKingz and to follow
No,
us on
but you
YouTube and
wasn't
stuff like that.
realizing when you was walking and I was behind you that you zigzagging through
I
people
do, Joseph,
was
though.
causing me to zigzag, which was I was keeping my balance. I was
Hmm.
most of the time. Once in a blue moon, I would shake a little bit,
Yeah, but you need to stop being
but
so proud. You need to stop being so proud. And I tell you to push through things, but I don't tell you to overdo it or,
oh no, the
I don't want
walking
you.
part yesterday. Honestly, when we sat down, when we did sit down on that bench, I needed to sit down.
Right, but
Other
I'm
times,
faster than you.
I was fine. Honestly, I was fine.
Right.
It wasn't, it wasn't me just not wanting to sit down or
Right.
whatever.
I know that, but what I'm saying to you is no shade. I'm faster than you. I'm quicker than you
Hey,
on my
Tyrone and
feet. I can
Phoenix.
walk. I can walk faster than you. And
Nah,
so, I would rather you sit on the sideline. And like I did yesterday, when you were sitting on the sideline, I was pointing to people. I was like, there go my husband over there. His name is Joseph. I said, we got a channel called TheMcRaeKingz. Y'all watch us on YouTube. They was like, oh, okay.
and they waved. I smiled.
Yes.
This big old grin.
Yeah, that's all I need for you to do. All I need for you to do is sit on the sideline and grin. I don't need for you to walk about and pass cards out and pass out flyers and stuff like that because I know that you don't have
No,
the
but man,
capacity. You don't have the ability to walk, Joseph.
I wanted to go around and see what food was there and the vendors and the
Yeah, we
different
did that.
things and all of that.
We did that.
So that part I didn't mind.
Yeah, we
When
did
I
that.
said I needed to sit down and we sat on that bench, child, I wasn't getting up off that bench
But you
until we
be
went
looking
up.
like you are so tired.
No,
You be having this look on your face like you are just so winded. And so I'll be like, okay, it's time for him to sit down.
Erica, he didn't make them crowns.
No, I didn't make those crowns. Those crowns were purchased. Um,
Amazon.
yeah, yeah, and so yeah, those crowns came from Amazon. They come in an array of different colors. They're very expensive too, Joseph. They too expensive. I don't know when we're gonna get another one. We're gonna have to raise the money to get another one. And we also gotta raise money to get some chairs.
Yeah,
We got to
because
get
we
those
definitely gonna
because
need them this
because if we're gonna
weekend.
be going to these pride events and to these house music festivals, we're definitely going to need to carry a chair with us. So those little portable chairs cost about what $35-$40.
Hmm.
So anybody who wants to contribute to that, guys, by all means, please contribute to that. Because we could really use the money to get chairs to sit on when we go out to these events. Otherwise, we usually have to find some place to sit and chow. Let me tell you something. Joseph getting on the ground
It ain't
ain't
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen. But Shamel getting on the ground, I might get on the ground, honey. But you're gonna need the paramedics to
Well,
get
that
me up.
grass was wet yesterday, but you know what happens when I get down. Ever since the stroke, it's like it's crazy. When I get on the floor, it's like I know how to get up, but my body is not doing what my mind
Yeah,
is
my body
telling
be
it to
saying,
do.
Shamel, don't get down there. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that, Shamel.
So
Don't do
me
that.
sitting on like yesterday, Tramel went to find a ATM because all the food and drinks and stuff. Well, we had food and drinks in the car,
Right.
in the cooler,
But we want some
because
funnel
we
cake.
knew we wasn't going. We knew that we wasn't going to try to be buying stuff there because it was too expensive. But we wanted some funnel cake. We were going to share funnel cake and lemonade. But they didn't take cards. They only took cash. And I forgot about that. At Pride events, they only take cash.
Yeah.
So Tramel went out and he left me. He was like, "Where do you want me to go?" And I'm like, "Oh, just put me right here." So I felt like an invalid because I'm like, "Yo, just let me stand right here." He's like, "Cause you can't go walking with me."
Yeah, I ain't want you to go
Cause
walking with me looking for no ATM because you
right,
would have been going crazy.
we didn't know where ATM was because we really didn't see a bank when we was trying to find a parking space. So he went out and left me standing by this garbage. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at these people on this bench and I'm like, why don't y'all get up off the bench so I could go over there and sit down?
Did they ever get up?
Amazon, Lisa. No, they were still sitting there by the time you came back. And I'm like, it was one person that wasn't with them and then two of them. Because the other people they was with walked away. And I was like, good, they leaving. And them two just sat there. I said, damn it. Get up so I could beeline across the street. Because I don't walk fast, but I bet you I would have walked fast. I bet you I would have walked fast to get that damn bench. But I was fine standing there. As long as I'm not moving, standing up is fine. But it's just even sometimes when I walk, I like Trinell to understand. As long as I'm just standing still, I'm good. It's just the movement that kind of wears me. And then when I got home, child, my little feet was all swole up. Because when we was on the boardwalk, Trinell was like, "Oh, Papa, we got to get you to the car because your feet are swollen." Because I don't do that much walking. So, and now being back on hemodialysis, the water retention is great. But I did good. I did real good. I was proud of myself. I ain't drink too much water.
Did you put any of our pictures from yesterday on the community wall?
I'll put a picture of us on the community wall. I'll put a bunch of pictures of us on Instagram. We both posted pictures of us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted a picture on Twitter.
And we were in our festive rainbow colors yesterday. I had on a red shirt. You had on a green shirt. And we both had on shorts. I had on some rainbow socks. I had on red sneakers. You had on black sneakers.
Lisa, I do need to walk more. That's the problem. Like yesterday was the most walking I have done. Like me and Tramel, because when we sat on the bench, I was like, "Woo!" And Tramel was like, "I said, child, this is the most walking I've done actually since I broke my knee back in September." So yesterday was the most walking I have done since I broke my knee in September.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt good. So like this weekend, we I don't know if we doing both Pride events or just one, but I'll probably be walking again
Yeah,
some more
because
this weekend.
Montclair and Maplewood is next week,
Montclair
right?
and Maplewood is this week.
Yeah. So that's one is on Saturday, one event is on
The one I
Saturday,
really want to
other
go
one's on
to
Sunday.
is Maplewood because I want to see Martha Walsh,
Oh yeah, Martha Wash is performing at Maplewood Pride.
and we need to cheers for that.
Oh, definitely, definitely, yeah. So, um, and speaking of dialysis, guys, I going for my surgery this week. I'm having a minor surgery this week on Thursday, right?
Yep,
Thursday, I'm having my surgery to have the port put in, you know, so for my dialysis.
your fistula,
It's a 1 day
your
surgery.
fistula, not a port.
It's called a fistula. It's a 1 day surgery.
In and
Um,
out.
it's in and out. Joseph tells me it's not really painful or anything like that. He said you may be a little uncomfortable for a little while, but it takes it about 3 months to heal. So I'm going to be not incapacitated. It's
Well,
just that my
the
arm will.
your arm, like this part of your arm, will be
Hmm.
healed and probably. I'm telling you, you're not gonna feel it. I didn't feel it.
Mm,
What takes 3 months to heal is the fact that they tied a vein to a main artery.
hmm.
So that's what takes 3 months to heal.
Oh, okay.
Your actual cut that they make on your skin,
Hmm.
child, that'll probably heal in about a week or two.
Okay. So I'm having surgery on Thursday, guys. Keep me prayed up, and I'm gonna pray myself up. I already know that everything is gonna go okay. I already know that it's going to be a successful minor surgery. I'm just wanting to get it done and over with. I'm not afraid or anything like that. This is the beginning of my new journey doing hemodialysis. So, guys, um, pray for both Joseph and I that maybe we may be blessed to get a kidney this year or
This is
next
true.
year. If the right donor comes along, we may be blessed to get a kidney, both of us, if not one of us. I'm hoping that Joseph gets a kidney. Joseph is hoping and praying that I get one. Um, I've had some volunteers. Unfortunately, the candidates that have volunteered to give me a kidney, unfortunately, due to age, they're not able to accommodate me. So, um, you know, we just we just gonna stay prayed up about it, and that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the meantime, dialysis may or may not be a part of my life soon.
Right.
But yes, I'm having my surgery this week, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I am. I'm kind of looking forward to just getting it done and getting it over with. I really am. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in. Also, please make sure you hit the like button when you come in, and make sure if you're not a subscriber to hit the subscribe button. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers or the new potential subscribers who are handed out cards to on yesterday. Welcome to our channel. Make yourselves at home. If you have any comments, any questions, by all means, please send those to us through our social media platforms, and we're more than happy to try to accommodate you as much as we can.
And
What's going
Erica,
on, Monica? Hey, Lisa.
Erica, when you say don't get any bruises, what do you mean? I got my arm was bruised up, and that's just, I guess, because I was light skinned and because the bruising when they cut me open and did what they did. So that's why mine looked so bad, because I was bruised up and it looked like, when you looked at my arm, you looked like everybody that saw it wanted to cry for me, because they was like, "Oh my God, that has got to hurt," and I'm like, "I don't feel this. I didn't feel no pain at all. Thank God." And I'm telling Tramel, if his goes like mine did, it'll look worse than it actually was. But maybe because they didn't like staple me clothes and they didn't sew me clothes, they glued me back together. So maybe that's why I didn't feel any pain, because I was glued back together as opposed to being stapled or sewn back together. I was glued back together. So, I just had glue on my arm. So it was shiny in some places and bruised up in other places. And thank you for the prayers, Lisa.
Yes, thank you so much. And yes, we are both of us are starting to become accustomed to walking again because guys, when we were up in New York, in upstate New York, we didn't get an opportunity to do so because when we first moved up there, the pandemic hit. So, everybody was quarantined.
And it snowed every damn
And it
day.
snowed when we were able to get out and walk. The only time we were able to get out and walk was when we went to the grocery store or to Walmart because of the snow. And then
And
of
then
course
in the
a series of
summertime, we didn't walk.
yeah, and then a series of events happened with Joseph breaking his knee and other health issues. We weren't able to walk. Now, right now, I have to say that both of us are in the best health that we've been in the past. What, 2 years?
2, 3 years.
2, 3 years, yeah. And so we're out and about and we're walking more, we're getting out more, we're getting more fresh air. My doctor tells me that I need more vitamin D. So of course you get vitamin D from just being out in the sun. We're getting out more. We're walking a little bit more. I'm trying to get Joseph accustomed to walking a little bit more, and I'm really trying to convince him that going to rehab is a good thing for him too, because he had the stroke mid in the midst of the pandemic, and he was not able to go to rehab for the
But
stroke.
twice.
And I think he went to 2 sessions, and that was really it. But I told him he really needs to go to some type of rehabilitation place in order to, get fully back on his feet. With, considering he had a stroke 2 years
Because,
ago.
baby, let me tell you something. When I woke up today and got out of this bed and I took a couple of steps, it felt like I had went to the gym and worked out my ankle. I was like, "Ooh, Lord, don't let me fall down these stairs, Jesus." Because this ankle was a little weak this morning, but then the more I walked, the better it got.
Well, my feet were a little swollen yesterday as well. Um, and that's probably because neither one of us are accustomed to walking. We're just really not accustomed to walking like we were, 4 years ago when we first got married.
Right.
We're just not accustomed to doing it. So we just have to get back into the swing of things when it comes to walking.
Right, but I actually felt good. It wasn't, it wasn't a bad thing.
Mm-mm,
It was a good thing, actually.
no. Um, I have to Um, I have to get some inner soles for my shoes though, because it feels like my feet on the bottom of my feet. It feels like I'm not walking on It feels like I'm walking on pavement with no
On the
socks,
pavement.
with no shoes on.
See, and for me, those sneakers feel wonderful. Hey, Trisha.
Yeah,
For me, they feel comfortable.
it's the bottom of my feet. It's because I had the calluses on the
Calluses on the bottom
on the
of your
bottom of my
feet.
feet. That's why. But even with that, my calluses are getting a whole lot better as well.
And
So
that's why I didn't want you to go walking yesterday.
yeah, I know you don't be want me to walk, but you know how I push through things. I just push through things.
I was like, just go ahead. Just go
But
ahead.
anyway, guys, let's talk about
The
what
subject at hand.
the subject in here. We're gonna talk about Monique,
Did Monique go too far with
Monique
DL
and DL
Hughley?
Hughley. Well, let me just say this about Monique. First of all, Monique is she's like my soul sister because our birthdays are on the same day. We're actually the same age. She Monique turns 55 this year, just like me. Um, and I've always loved her as a comedian. I've always loved her as an actress. Oh God, I cannot tell you. I know every episode of The Parkers. She has always been one of my very favorite actresses. She's always been one of my very favorite people. I remember, when she first came onto the scene, how many shows that she would appear on, how many talk shows she would appear on, and stuff like that. And I always thought she was a great woman. And I'm not, With that being said, let me just say this about what's going on with her and DL Hughley. And let me just say this, I'm just gonna make a general blank statement about social media. Social media has become such a premise that whenever we have issues with one another, personal issues, whether it be personal or whatever, we take to social media because we feel like we want to let the whole world know what this person is like that we're dealing with or whatever drama we're dealing with. We need to stop this. It needs to stop. It really does. I couldn't, I was one that used to do it, but now I don't understand why people do it. Like I had a friend, right? He was dating this guy, right? And the guy was a minister. Well, so when the guy decided to break up with him, he was so hurt by it. He took to social media. And he wanted to tell everybody this guy was a minister, and you know how they were in a relationship and having sex and so on and so forth. And he wanted to put his business out there. And I just think now, looking back on it, like I used to do stuff like that. With like when I would get mad with my family members and stuff like that, I would go on Facebook and I would like say things about them just to just like publicly. I felt like I was publicly humiliating them. But now that I think about it, Joseph, it's like, for what? What reason? I mean, it's like, what type of gratification are you getting, or what type of satisfaction are you getting for putting somebody else's business out on social media, like what Monique is doing? Like Monique right now, she is like really dragging DL Hughley about this comedy show that they were supposed to do together. Now allegedly what happened was is that they were both to be on this comedy tour, right? Monique's signed a contract which stated that she would be the headliner. Now, for those of you that don't know what a headliner is, the headliner is the person that is the main person, the person that is on the ticket, that is like the main person that everybody's coming to see. And usually the headliner usually goes on last. Well, Monique got to the comedy event, and allegedly, what ended up happening was is that she was told when she got there that she was no longer the headliner. And when she asked, what's the issue? I signed a contract saying that I'm the headliner. She was told that DL Hughley would be the headliner. She was also told the reason why he would be the headliner was because he made such a big fuss about him
And
being the
refused to go
headliner,
on.
and he refused to go on if he was not the headliner. Um, which, of course, Monique was infuriated by because she had signed a contract stating that number one, I am the headliner, and Monique felt like, well, I am the Oscar award winning person. I am, the top comedian. I deserve this, and besides, I signed a contract to be the headliner of this comedy event. So I feel like she took it out on the wrong person. She got mad. She now what her beef with DL Hughley is because he made a fuss about not being the headliner. She got in her feelings about him making a fuss about not being the headliner, and so she took to not only social media, but the comedy show that they were both appearing in. She came out on stage and she completely ripped him a new one. I'm just gonna say it nicely like that. She basically cursed him out and called him all kind of names. She mentioned some things about him. She mentioned some things about how, she felt as though he had been harassing to her in these years that have passed. She made mention of his family in this whole reading session. And it's just been really messy, very messy. And now, people are saying that Monique has gone too far,
Well,
Joseph.
then he took to social media and he went after Monique.
Right,
Then she took to social media and she went after him again.
right. They just basically been verbally
And
assassinating
that's
each
when
other.
she really let people know that it really had nothing to do with that night. It had to do with other situations throughout the years.
Hmm.
Why she ripped him a new one? Because she said DL Hughley was going to get ripped a new one regardless.
She
Um,
said this was just the final straw.
this was the final straw for her.
Hmm.
Um, and then she, I think, went again to social media and she released a video that he made on a different show with someone talking about letting his daughter down. She put that
He didn't
out.
protect her.
Right, he didn't protect his
He
daughter the way he should
he
have
had did
as
a
a father.
podcast. He did a podcast stating that he didn't protect his daughter.
The way he should have as a father.
Hmm.
The oldest daughter responded to Monique putting that video back out. And then Monique responded to her saying, if y'all want to have a conversation with me, we could all go on your father's show and we could have a discussion there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she responded again after that post and said, well, when I recorded Tyler Perry, y'all didn't believe me, even though y'all heard his voice. Y'all was like, oh, why she had to record him for? And blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I think at this point, my personal opinion, do I think it's gone too far? I think just for a one-time comedy show, yes, it went too far. It wasn't like they was on tour. It wasn't like they had to see each other after this one-time comedy show. If she chose to go up there and rip him a new one, okay, so be it. Because they claimed D.L. Hughley couldn't even perform after Monique finished because he was so
Drunk.
evidently heated or drunk and so in his feelings that he couldn't even give a good show after Monique was done. So her job was done because that's what she wanted to do. And then he went and ripped her a new one. Then she ripped him a new one. I think when she did that, it should have just ended right there because he never responded back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it should have just ended right there. But you saying that Hugh and Monique have the same birthday,
Mm-hmm.
she's not going to stop there. She's not. She's not. Monique is like you. If y'all born on the same day, you are not going to stop until you prove your point, until you do what it is that you want to do. But then I think when it started backfiring on her, when people that was supporting her are now saying, Monique, you went too far, you did too much. Now she's trying to do. Now she's trying to fix it, but it's
Well,
too late to be
let me
fixed.
just say this about me. I'm not a person that has to prove a point. For me, the world ain't got no time for point proving. And so I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those Sagittariuses that has to always prove a point to somebody, or I'm not one of those people that always has to prove I'm right to somebody. If I'm right, I'm right. Period. Point blank. I don't care who say I'm wrong.
No, but
And
you
if
know
I'm
how
right,
you
I'm right.
are. You know how you are.
But
If
if you keep on
if
bringing stuff
you
to my
know that you're
door,
right, and I tell you, Tramel, just leave it alone. You know, this is not the way it happened.
hmm
Oh no, we're gonna settle this. We're gonna get this
oh yeah,
straight.
it's gonna be fixed. It's
And
gonna
I'm
be
like,
resolved.
but you don't have to do that. And you're like, nope, we got. And that's Monique. That's Monique right
Yeah, but
there.
I don't do that in all
No,
situations.
but I'm saying that's Monique. She knows she's right, so nope, I'm right, and this is what's gonna happen.
Right.
And nope, I'm right, and this is what's gonna
Yeah, but
happen.
see what she's
And I
doing
think
wrong is she's trying to shove that down other people's throat. And see, sometimes people, you don't always listen. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this. Just because you don't always have to be. I mean, just because you're right doesn't mean you always have to show people that you're right. Sometimes the writing is just on the wall. See, that's what I do. For me, it's the writing on the wall.
like me, when I know I'm right, I'll just leave it alone. And you've said to me before, no, Papa, you need to say something. I'm like, I need to say something for what? I'm right. I don't need to say nothing when I'm right. I don't, I'm not, my thing is, I don't have to keep confronting people because once their mind is made up that I'm wrong, nothing I say to them is going to ever make me right, even though I know
hmm
I'm right.
Right.
So it's like, why are we having this back and forth when you're never going to change your
Well, we have
mind?
a back and forth. See, the only way I'll have a back and forth with you is if you continue to gaslight me. If the more you gaslight me, the more we gonna go back and forth. If you just if I say what I got to say and you got to say what I got, you say what you got to say, and we both go our separate ways, then I'm good. Just don't be gaslighting me. Like situation I had like a situation I had a couple of weeks ago where somebody kept on telling me, you need to grow up, you need to grow up, you need to grow up. And I'm like, this person is telling me this to try to gaslight me, telling me
Right.
I need to grow up. And I'm like, okay, I heard what you said, you know. And the person was like, you got an attitude, you got an attitude. And I was like, no, I don't have an attitude. I'm good. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And see, that's the one thing I hate what people do. And I'm gonna tell you what my problem is with Monique. and other people like Monique. I am so sick and tired of all these heterosexual people that say, "Oh, I'm pro LGBTQ. I'm this and I'm that. I love gay people and we love you, McCrae But as soon as they get in their feelings about something that we said or something they don't like that we did, they always want to play the F card. They
Or
always
they
want to
want to
drop the
call,
F bomb.
or they want to call a straight man a gay man, and
Right.
like it's a
They want to
bad
question
thing.
a straight man because he's hanging out with gay men, or they want to throw that into the bucket,
Or question his
or question a
sexuality.
man's sexuality or something like that. Like what Monique was doing, she was calling DL. She said, "What does DL mean? It means down low." Now everybody know. Now we, of course, we've never ever associated DL Hughley with being
No, because he's so
gay.
anti-gay, it ain't funny.
Right.
That's why I don't even like him.
Right.
He ain't a fan of
Um.
mine. I ain't a fan of his, and I'm sure he ain't a fan of mine. So he ain't even. First of all, I believe Monique from number one because Monique ain't gonna say something unless she got receipts.
Yeah.
If you didn't learn that about her by now, then you a fool and you've been living under a rock. Monique ain't gonna say nothing unless she got receipts.
Right.
Cause one thing she ain't gonna look like is a damn fool.
Yeah, she ain't.
And I applaud her for that because I'm the same way. I ain't saying nothing unless I got receipts and I can prove what I'm saying. But at the same token, but at the same token, people been wanting to say she's a liar, she's lying, here we go again. And that's only because he put the "Oh, Monique is difficult to work with" back out into the universe.
Yeah, but Joseph, this fighting via social media is senseless. It's never gonna end.
Oh, I agree. Because as long as you can turn on the camera and they can turn on the camera,
Hmm.
it's just going to be what
It's
it
never gonna
is.
end, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They both of them, including DL Hughley's daughter, um, they sound foolish. They all sound foolish. She ain't doing nothing. DL Hughley's daughter ain't doing nothing but insulting Monique, calling her disgusting, and saying, and then they try to make these points like you're not for black women. Like that's a gaslight. That's somebody she's just trying to gaslight Monique, and that's it. And
And
to
then
be
when
honest with
Monique
you, don't nobody want to hear
responds,
no conversation that they have. Don't this whole debacle, this whole kerfuffle that they're having needs to be something that is handled off social media. DL Hughley and Monique have been in the game for years. They have been colleagues of one another for years. And I'm sorry, I don't see why DL Hughley can't pick up the phone and talk to Monique, or Monique can't pick up the phone and talk to DL Hughley, and they can have a
well, she
mature
said she's
conversation
tried and
about
he
it.
won't talk to her.
Well, I don't blame him for not wanting to
Well,
talk
no,
to
the
her.
running thing about him is he gets on his shows and he talks about people, and then when the people confront him, he runs like chicken shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody confronted him, some lady that he talked about on his show confronted him in
Oh
the
yeah, I heard
airport,
about that.
and he called security on her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my thing is, you need to keep the same energy that you had on your radio show
Yeah,
when you face them in public.
yeah. And that's the thing, guys, with social media. Um, you know, we are more fearless and more bold via social media than we would be normally if we were stand in front of somebody's face. Some of the things that we say on social media, we would never say to somebody in their face.
You know what I think too? I think a lot of people are put off by Monique's husband. And because I know, Tramel just told y'all, her and her, their birthdays on the same day. And I think it's not that he changed her. I think Monique changed herself when she found out she had the support of somebody behind her that
Mm-hmm.
was standing by her no matter what, no matter how. she had that support so she could be herself and say what she wanted to say and do what she wanted to do. Because believe me, people in Tramel's life swear that I changed them, that I gave him this backbone, and it's not that. It's that Tramel knows now that he has somebody behind him that is his backbone. I'm gonna agree with my husband. I'm gonna take up for my husband. Ain't
Right.
nobody gonna say or do nothing to my husband that I don't want said or done.
Hmm.
And it just gave him this newfound confidence that he didn't have before because he didn't have nobody in his
Well,
life like that.
I think that's one of the
And I think
misconceptions of marriage.
no, but I
Period.
think that that's what gave Monique the courage. The same courage you
Yeah.
found with me,
Right.
she found with him.
Right.
Because he's always by her side.
Right.
He's always in agreement with her.
Right.
He's not going to
But
let
every
nobody take advantage of her.
right.
And I think that's what she needed
Hmm.
to give her the courage
Right.
to say what she needed to
Right.
say and to be who she really
Well,
was.
I think
I don't
no,
think it has to do with him changing her
no,
or
but that's the misconception.
right.
See, a lot of people, and this is in people, you people out there that are married, I'm sure you'll agree with me. And you people that are in long-term relationships, I'm sure you'll agree with me as well. Our loved ones and our friends and our colleagues, they feel like um they sometimes feel like our whoever we're partnered up with, whether it be our husbands or our domestic partners or what have you, um, shouldn't have any influence over us. When in reality, they do. Like my husband has, he has a lot of influence. You have a lot of influence over me.
Right, but you
I mean,
also
like,
said
but I'm not going to sit here like y'all. Let me tell you something. When you get married, marriage is an institution, and what I mean by that is this: is that when you stand before God and you make those vows, you're saying to God that I'm going to honor, love, and respect and obey this person, and I'm going to have their back regardless. I'm going to love them unconditionally, regardless whether they're right or whether they're wrong. I'm going to have their back. And that's really what marriage is all about. Marriage is all about support and not just financial support. It's not about just financial support. A lot of people think that marriage is just about financial support when in reality marriage is about more than just financial support. It's about more than just me saying I love my husband and him saying I love he loves me. What have you. Marriage is about more than that. We have each other's back 100%. That means like if somebody was standing in front of us and they had a gun and they said, I'm gonna shoot your husband Joseph. I'm standing in front of you and I'm saying, okay, well, go ahead and shoot. Because you going to shoot me first, and then the bullet going to go through me and then go through him. That's what marriage is all about. That's the commitment that you should have when you get married. That's the commitment that you should have before you decide to take on a marital partner, is that you are with this person 100% wholeheartedly. I don't care. They can commit the most heinous murder, but you're up in that courtroom and you sit up in front row seat showing them, I don't agree with what you did, but I support you. And
right.
see, that's a big misconception of the institution of marriage. Our loved ones and our friends think that we shouldn't be as committed as we are to whoever our partner is. You know, I remember when we first got engaged, how your friends called. I'll never forget that your friends called and they want you to go out with them, and you was like, "Well, let me talk to Tramel first." They were like, "Well, why you got to talk to him?
He controlled you.
He control you. He don't." And it wasn't about that. It was about you wanting to be considerate of me and asking and saying to me, "Babe, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends," and me be okay. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But a lot of people don't look at us on that level. You know, they don't look at us on that level when it comes to our partners. Like I remember one time a friend of mine called me and asked me to could they borrow some money, and I said that I didn't have it. And they said, "Well, where's Joseph at?" And I said, "Well, he's right here. Well, let me speak to him." What do you want to speak to him for? Because I want to see if he can loan me the money. If I ain't got the money, he ain't got it. Period. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't respect our institution. They have this misconception. Like Sydney takes a lot. I have to say that Monique's husband takes a lot from people because everybody feels as though he is the backbone of their marriage, and that
And
she
he's
is
telling her what
influence
to.
her. He's manipulating her to say and do the things that she does. No, just like me, you know, he has built her up to a place where he has said to Monique, when you're right, stand your ground.
Right.
Stand your ground. And that's what she has done all these years. Even with her being blackballed, she stood her ground. Even with her, when she negotiates contracts, I'm pretty sure there was a time when Monique would just not stand her ground, and now she stands her ground. She's like, no, this is unacceptable. I'm not going to accept this from you. you know, and people get so riled up about it. But I do think Monique went too far. I don't like, I don't like anybody that plays the gay card. They always want to throw us up in there and throw us under the bus, either throw us under the bus or try to make it seem like being gay is the most biggest plague in the world. But that's what all these straight people do, and they don't. Sometimes they do it and they don't even realize they doing it.
Nope.
Trans women, a lot, excuse me, shout out to all my trans women, but trans women have a very bad habit of doing that. When they get mad at a guy, they want to out him. They want to out him and make it seem like it's a bad thing. It was a bad thing for him to be with them. So they out him and say, oh, yeah, he was with me. He was with a trans woman. Like a trans woman is some type of uh, um, foreign being or something like that.
Lisa, I agree with you. I think right now was not a good time to do this when you're trying to revive your career. But at the same time, I'm sure she don't care because people already heard the apologies and what have you. So it's just, you know what? I don't even think that that's so much of an issue as I think this shows people don't play with Monique. Just keep it the way it is. Keep it real. If you don't mess with her, she won't mess with you because in the long run, that's what it is. She ain't messing with people that don't mess with her. If you don't mess with her, she ain't got nothing bad to say about you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. To a degree, I mean, if you're trying to come back and revive your career, you know, this is gonna hinder you now that so many people is against you. But her artistry speaks for itself. I mean,
But what Lisa said is correct though. How many times it's like, okay, you were blackballed. Okay, you came out of that. Now Hollywood is kind of sort of getting ready to start messing with you again, only for you to now start this mess, and your supporters that you do have behind you. Not only supporters that you do have behind you, but even everybody else is looking at you crazy because you're doing the same things over and over again. It's like it's like you know um what is it for? She keeps on saying, I'll pay the price. I'll pay the price. If it means me putting my head on the chopping block, I'll pay the price. But sister, it's gonna come a time, Monique, when you're gonna go to pay the price and you ain't have no money in the bank. Then what you gonna do when you ain't got no money to pay the price no more? Because it's like she said, you become your own worst enemy, always trying to be right. You become your own worst enemy because every time you sit there and you try to be right about something, you ain't doing nothing but bringing your brand down. You ain't doing nothing but bringing your name down and the person that you are. Because people, even sometimes when you write, people don't look at you as though you right. like she said, when she recorded Tyler Perry, they people told her, why are you recording him? Why are you recording a black man? Why are you recording a black man? You don't come out victorious all the time when you're right.
Not when
Sometimes
you're
you have to
dealing with
just
black
let the
people,
chips
honey.
fall where they may, and sometimes you have to let the writing be on the damn wall. The writing is on the wall. Listen, if you have been done wrong and somebody has done something wrong to you, and you know that you know that you know that you're right, let me tell you the truth. Like who said that? The truth will set you free. Who said that? The truth will set you free.
But
It's
my
always gonna
thing
set you free. I
is,
don't care. I don't care how long it takes. It may sometimes take a long time, and you may have to do some things to prove your innocence. But the truth is always gonna set you free.
I don't, you know what? I just don't, oh, I don't know what to say because my thing is, when you're dealing with people, sometimes the less you say, the better. Because people are going to believe who they want, regardless of whatever you say. No matter how much proof you put out there, they're going to believe who they want. They're going to call you a
Mm-hmm.
troublemaker,
Mm-hmm.
instigator, or whatever. You can scream, it's because I'm a black woman, or you want. You can scream whatever you want to scream, bloody hell, bloody murder. People are going to believe with whoever they want to believe, even if the proof is in their face. We know that already.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get when people try to prove a point and they just keep going and keep going. I mean, at first, I get it. Nobody wants to be called a liar. So the first time you try to prove a point, I get it. But after that, let it go. Because anything else, people are already making opinions and forming opinions. And
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really matter what you say after that. If they ain't on your side, they ain't on your side. It's
Right.
about riling people up and getting people on your side. And that will never happen because his
Not in this
fans,
situation.
no, because his fans will never convert over to become your fans
Right.
and vice versa.
But
But
at the end of the
now,
day, Joseph, what difference does it make who showed their contract first? Because let's say, what do we do if we find out that Monique contract says she was a headliner and DL Hughley's contract says that he's the headliner? Both of them are right. Both of them are right. They were both considered the
oh, that
headliners.
situation, like I said when we made the other video, I believe it was the promoter who told both of them they were the
Well, I know.
headliner. And because he knew neither one of them, or she knew neither one of them would perform if they
Mhm.
wasn't. So he or she just agreed to, oh yeah, you the headliner. Oh yeah, you the headliner. And then the night of the show, it became a shit show.
Yeah, but I
But
mean, I worked in the music industry
I
for
think,
over 20 years, Joseph. And the one thing I know is that contracts change. The other thing I know is that you will have a promoter, you have a contract over here and promise this person the world, and then you'll have the same promoter go over to another person and promise them the same thing that they promised you, knowing that they can't fulfill the wishes of both people.
right, and hoping that the night of the show, y'all don't do what he did and say,
Right,
I'm not performing.
right.
Because let's just assume she said, I'm not performing. People would have wasted their money to see. I don't want to say it like this, and please don't take offense if you were one of the comedians on the board, but no name comedians. Like, I came to see either DL Hughley or I came to see Monique or I
Hmm.
came to see both of them.
Right.
Now, if neither one of them decide to perform because of what the promoter did, then
Who
everybody in the
loses?
audience, the people in the audience
Right.
lose. They don't lose. The people, and that's why Monique said she went on because she said that maybe somebody took their last money to come see her perform, so she didn't want to disappoint nobody by not coming on and performing, and I applaud her for that because she could have well said, "I'm not going on there." He going on before me. He had already made it clear that he wasn't going on after Monique.
Right. But what I don't
So I mean,
applaud her
before
for
Monique.
is though
So
is that none of those people in that audience cared about her being a headliner and DL Hughley being a headline. They just came to see, they just came to laugh and have a good, have an entertaining night. Those people in the audience would not have cared a bit, regardless whether she was the headliner or he was the headliner. That's a personal ego thing.
Oh, true. The people don't care. They just came to see a show, and they wanted their show, what they paid for. I agree
Mhm.
with that wholeheartedly. They didn't care if Monique went on before him or he went on before her. It was just what it was. I just think that they both just took it out of control. And I think she had more ammunition on him because she was already holding all this animosity and stuff for things that he did to her in the past. And she was ready to unload regardless of whatever.
Right.
And I think when he did what he did and she found out about it, that was her, okay, well, I'm going to let this motherfucker have it now.
Do you think people would have taken her more seriously had she taken a different role? Meaning, if she had chose to be mature about this and say, "Okay, I'm going to put this out here, what he did, but I'm going to take the approach of I'm going to have my lawyer talk to his lawyer, or what have you." Or I mean, do you think that if she would have took a more mature approach, would people have taken this? Because
I'm
people are
going to
saying
say
are not
like
taking it
this.
serious now.
I'm going to say like this. What Monique says is true because you can look it up on the internet, the things that he said about her throughout the year. So I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have did the same thing on stage that she did. Cause I'm like, oh nigga, you wanna try it? Let me show you how you do it, bitch. And I would have did the same thing she did. I would have ripped him a new asshole on that stage. I ain't even gonna lie. I would have, cause you know I'm petty Peter. So I would have did the same thing. I'm petty Peter, petty Polly, whatever you want to call me. I would have did the same thing she did and ripped him a new asshole on that stage. Now, I also would have did what she did and made that next video explaining why I ripped him a new asshole on the stage. And that would have been it. There would have been nothing else after that. If he wanted to talk to me, he could have called me. We could have a conversation if that's what he wanted to do. There's no reason for me to call him because I'm sure he would saw my video and he knows what he's done to me throughout the years. So he would have known why I did what I did, especially when I made the video. And that would have been it. And I would have left it alone. But I would have made this video she made because people would have needed to know why I got on stage and did what I did. So
Mhm.
I think, and I'm saying that now that's the petty side of me. Now, the professional side of me says maybe I would have got up there and did my original show that I had planned to do
Mhm.
and then talk to him afterwards. But that's no different than saying Will Smith shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock the way he did.
Right.
Because you can only take but so much from a person before you snap. And that's what people don't understand. Like, people don't understand. Like, your threshold may be bigger than mine. You might can handle more than I can handle. And then when I snap, I'm the one wrong for snapping.
Mhm.
But you done been snapping on me for years and years and years, and I've been sitting back taking it, taking it, taking it. And now I have this opportunity to light your ass on fire. What make you think I'm not gonna take it? There are people that won't take it. But those are the people that you sit back and say, well, damn, bitch, how much you gonna take from this motherfucker?
Mhm.
How much is it gonna take for you to say something? Those them people that can sit back and take stuff like that.
Mhm.
I can't. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like I could. Cause I can't. If you've been talking about me, and I just been sitting back, letting it go, and now you acting like a big baby because you ain't the headliner. Oh yeah, I'm gonna rip you a new one on the stage. Just to teach you a lesson. Just to teach you a lesson. Is it right? No. I'm not gonna sit here and say
Well,
that
who's
it's
to
right.
say that that all was his fault? It may not have been his fault. It may have been his manager. His manager could have went and said, "Oh well, my client does not do any comedy show unless he's the headliner." Who's to say that his manager wasn't the one that played a big part in that. He
Well, no,
may not
they
have said nothing.
apparently, because if you go by what was said, so allegedly, when he got there, he saw Monique was the headliner,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he wasn't performing. He was the headliner. She wasn't the headliner. He was the headliner, and he was not performing before Monique. That's just the way it was. That's the way it's gonna be, and that's is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, it didn't come from anybody but him, because this is what they're saying happened. Now this is all alleged because it wasn't none of us backstage. None of us know, but him and whoever was backstage with him.
Right.
So I just, like I said, I'm petty. So do I think there's something wrong with what she did? No. Letting it go on for so long, yes. But
I don't know. I'm not saying that I necessarily think there's something wrong with what she did. I have a problem with a lot of things that she said, but I don't think it was wrong with what she did. I just think that this whole thing has been going on for what, almost 2 weeks now.
yeah, but it's no different
And
than
it
the
makes no
slap.
sense. It just makes no sense for it to have to still be going on. All this back and forth they're doing now. She's attacking him as a person. She's attacking his character. She's saying that he's not a father that protects his daughter, and she's only saying that because she's heard him
But
say
he
that
said
he's
that.
not. She's making these points, and she's saying these things and not realizing how it's affecting other people. It's not just affecting DL Hugo because, to be honest with you, he probably been paying her no mind. Probably he has probably not been hurt by anything that she has said, right? Because he could take it. But what about his wife? What about his daughters? What about his family? What about the people that love him and care about him? It's about when you take it to social media, it's not about what they can take, it's about what everybody else that loves them and cares about them can take.
Well, this is true.
See, because people can say whatever they want to say about you, Joseph, right? But us in the family, meaning you, me, your sister, your brother-in-laws, and all of them, they know Joseph. They know Joseph can handle his shit. They know you're gonna handle your shit, right?
Well, it's just like that day when you went live. And what did I tell you? I said, Tramel, don't do this. Don't go live. Don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I told you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you opened your mouth, I went completely in because I had just had enough. And it was like enough was enough was enough.
Right.
And it was like, at that point, I didn't care what I said. I didn't care who I talked about. I could have talked about your mama, your dead grandmother, your kids that you aborted. I didn't care. At that point,
Right.
there was no nothing holding
But you were
back.
answering to the person that was gaslighting. You weren't
No, no, no.
answering to
But
a person. You weren't
what I'm
trying to
saying
be
is,
right
no, but
or
what I'm
trying to prove
saying
a
is,
point.
no, the point I'm making is when a person has had enough
Mm-hmm.
of you sitting back talking shit about them
Mm-hmm.
or about a person they love,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they say at
They're
that
gonna
point
respond. Yeah.
is whatever they say.
Mm-hmm.
Because people was gagging at that video before it got taken down of the things that I was saying because I didn't care. And my whole purpose was to reach in and rip that bitch's heart out with my bare hands
Right.
and let her stand there and watch her heart beat in my hands. And
Right.
that's basically what I did with this mouth.
Right.
And I don't like doing that to people.
But
I don't.
we didn't go out and we didn't go out and go off on a person just to for other people. We did that for our own
Right. But what
personal
I'm saying is
reason.
what she did on stage that night was what I did on live
Mm-hmm.
because she had had enough. She had
Right.
had enough and it just was what it was. And at that point, like, people kill me. Oh, this is off limits. You can't talk about this. You go, why? Why can't I? Who says I can't? Why? Because you won't? That means I can't? No, that ain't off limits for me. Everything when you pissed me off and you take me to that last level, baby, everything is on the chopping block for me. I don't care what it is, who it is, how it is. I don't care. I'm talking about it all. then don't tell me your business like that if you don't want me to know. Because I'm going to tell it all. I'm going to tell it all, and I'm going to put it all out in the streets. And I'm going to make you feel lower than dirt because I've had it, and I'm done, and I'm finished, and I don't care no more. And that's why I tell people, don't get me to the point where I don't care. Because see, it take a lot for me to walk away from a person to the point where I don't care. And I'll even walk away before I get to the point where I don't care. So it don't come down to that. But that day, when I was begging you not to do it, oh honey, I don't know, a fire ignited in me, and I said, let me end this once and for all. Let me end this, put an end to this once and for all. Because I see Tremellis playing nice, honey. And I'm tired of playing nice. Let me get down into the dirt, honey. Let me dig into this motherfucking dirt, honey, with a shovel and bring up some motherfucking skeletons and some rocks and some debris, honey, because I can't take it. I just can't take it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it be like this sometimes. It does. It does. Sometimes you get to this ending point where you're like, you know what? You don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. So if they want to go low, I'm going down the tunnel with them, and I'll go lower than they did.
Right. I just think people need to be careful who they messing with. Because just because you have morals to a degree don't mean everybody do.
Right.
And you can't get mad when they don't. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's what I always say. You can't slap me in my face and then tell me I can't break all five of your fingers. Well, bitch, just because you slapped me don't mean I have to slap you back. You slapped me, and now that same hand you slapped me with, I'm gonna break all five of your fingers to teach you a lesson. You can't tell me I can't do that
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't break your fingers. I slapped you. Okay, bitch, and I felt like I wanted to break your fingers. How about that? You know, that's what killed me. People want to treat you a certain way and then get mad when you respond in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
feeling that you were supposed to do what I did. No, no, it don't work that way, bro. It don't work
Mm-hmm.
that way. You did what you did, and I responded the way I responded.
Right.
That's not my problem if you don't like the way I responded. That's your
Mm-hmm.
problem. You deal with it. Because guess what you shouldn't have did in the first place? If you would have left me alone and left me in my little peaceful zone, then you wouldn't be sitting there with a cast on your hand and
Mm-hmm.
all five of your fingers incapacitated.
Right.
Well, four fingers and a thumb incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
But, just because this little red mark on my cheek is going to go away in a couple of days and your hand is going to heal in a couple of months, that's not my problem. But the
Mm-hmm.
next time you go to slap a bitch, guess what you going to think about? Am I going to get my fingers and thumb broke
Right.
again?
Right.
You know what? You know what, Trisha, I agree with you. There's no problem in defending yourself, but you don't always have to defend yourself
Mm-mm.
because a lot of times no defense is the best defense, especially for a lot of people that wait for confrontation, that want the confrontation. Your best defense with them is no defense
Mm-hmm.
because they're waiting for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting for whatever you got to say. They're waiting for whatever you're gonna do. So it ain't gonna surprise them. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna be no surprise. They waiting for it. But when you don't respond, that's when they sit there scared and worried, like, oh damn. I know this motherfucker always got something to say and they ain't said shit yet. Well damn, what they gonna do? I know it's coming. I just don't know when they're gonna be more scared when you don't respond than if you do respond. Because they're always used to a response from you. And I've learned that. It took me a lot of years to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I would have learned that in my younger years as opposed to my later years in life.
Save you a lot of energy, right?
Because it would have saved me a lot of time and energy, honey. A lot of time and energy. But everybody don't need a response from you. They don't. They just don't. You know what, Reese Cup? And you're right. People are so used to being treated bad, they can't even understand when you treat them good. They
That's so
can't.
true.
They can't understand when you treat them good. They sit back and they just waiting for something. They do something to make you treat them bad because they so used to being treated bad. That they do something to make you treat them bad, and then I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, and you sitting there like you knew what? I knew you was gonna do this. I knew it, but I wouldn't have did that if you didn't do that. Don't you realize for every action, there's a reaction?
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize that. They just think their actions are okay. And in this world we living in today, where everybody seems to be angry and everybody seems to want to fight, it's like now, child, I don't really. People push my buttons. They do. I ain't even gonna lie, especially driving, child. These people out here, they think that they could be in the wrong lane and just cut me off, and that I'm supposed to just let them through, and it don't work that way. But they push my buttons. I ain't gonna lie, but I be having to contain myself because I'm like, it ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. Especially nowadays when everybody angry and they want to fight. It's like, for what? I'm not gonna give you what you want. She was coming out of her slump. I truly believe her career was coming back. She took 100 steps back. And for who? Yeah, Lisa, I agree. And I agree with you too, Erica. I agree with you too. But I agree with you, Erica, to a degree. If they know they didn't do nothing to her, then they ain't got nothing to worry about. If they know they did something to her, then I wouldn't even fuck with her like that. I wouldn't. Because if you know you did something, then why even bother? Why even? Because you already know what she's going to do. But if you know you didn't do nothing to her, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because you know she ain't the type of person. I have never just seen her start shit. She may talk about stuff that was done to her, but I have never just seen her start shit with somebody that didn't mess with her first. So, in her defense, I have to say that if you know you did something to her, don't even hire her. Don't fuck with her like that, because you already know she's gonna put you on the fire. But if you didn't do nothing to her, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. Or if you hire her, just keep it 100% real. Keep it gully, honey. Don't decide to hire her and then start changing contracts and money agreements and everything, because you know she gonna rip you a new one. You already know that. And that's the other thing with people. People want to say she's difficult and what have you. But if you know how she operates, then you know why hire her and tell her, "Oh, we gonna pay you $100,000 to do this," and then she starts making a movie or whatever. "Oh, we running out of money. You only getting 80,000." You already know that ain't gonna be a right decision. You already know that ain't gonna be. You better come up with the other 20, 30,000. You better come up with the other $20,000 and figure it out, because that's what you told her she was gonna make. That's what you better give her, because if you don't, you already know you going on Front Street. Right, Lisa Go. DL needed it because he did talk about her. He
Mm-hmm.
did do the things that she said he did.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, you think you gonna just keep getting away with all of this, and she ain't gonna never say nothing, because you already know she was angry or pissed off behind it. So like, what's the problem? I just don't understand people personally. I don't get them. But y'all, that's what we came on here to talk about with y'all tonight. So please make sure y'all are following us on all social media outlets. You know what they are: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and of course, right here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button. It don't cost a thing to like and subscribe. And definitely share us out to a friend. Don't keep us for yourself. Tell a friend about the McCrae Kingz. And also, if you want to be part of our roundtable, hit that join button and become a lord or a lady or a knight at our roundtable. Because in 2022, memberships Membership will have its privilege. And remember, we are still on hiatus until next month. July 1st, we will be back in full force with the TheMKingz show with all the new content and new things that we have been planning for you guys, new shows, new show ideas, mukbangs, a whole bunch of stuff. And, we hope we see you there for the new season, season 5 of the TheMKingz show. Because, we changing the name to the TheMKingz. And also check out the McCraeKingz boutique for everything McCraeKingz. And also, please know that if nobody told you they love you today, me and Tramel love you, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it but accept it and know that you are loved. And also, our viewpoints are just that, our viewpoints. They have nothing to do with anybody else or whatever. My viewpoints are my viewpoints. Tramel's viewpoints are his viewpoints. And that's just the way it is. You know how we do. We live in our authentic truth and we keep it real. So that's what we're always going to do is keep it real with you guys. So on that note, y'all, stand for something or fall for anything. Exactly, Reese Cup. So on that note, y'all, please, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all who may subscribe after watching this video. And thank you to everybody who watches the replay. And on that note, y'all, thank you for joining us tonight with our viewpoint on Monique and DL Hughley's argument. I can't say fight. Well, it is like a fight, but their argument. And stay tuned for more content. And with that being said, y'all, you know how we end every show. Walk in love, peace, sunshine, and happiness. And always remember that is what? It's T. McRae all damn day. Later, y'all.